joined now by Eddie Hobbs, who apparently has word of yet another pyramid scheme which may have hit Cork. Good evening to you, Eddie.
Good evening, Matt.
What's happening?
That's right, Matt. I'm sure everybody is familiar with the Liberty scheme in Cork.
Yes,
and the
indeed.
troubles that has caused, or so we would have thought, Matt. But I'm quite frankly appalled by what I've heard today.
About what?
The Liberty scheme in Cork, Matt, seems literally to be only the tip of the iceberg, Matt, or the tip of the pyramid in this case, Matt.
Yeah? What else is happening?
Well, if my sources are correct, Matt, and I've no reason to assume that they're not, this pyramid scheme is going under the bizarre name of the Daddy at the moment. And this scheme, Matt, involves members of the Cork City Council, who I'll be naming on my website tomorrow morning, eddiehobbs.com, members of the Cork Chamber of Commerce, several of Cork's leading building and architect firms, and most worryingly of all, Matt, this goes all the way to the top, to the Cork Mayor's office.
What?
Well,
that sounds utterly extraordinary. How does the scheme work?
Well, the scheme, Matt, which I don't know if any of your listeners have heard of it, is actually called the Daddy at the moment. And this word, I've heard about for 2 weeks now or so. But the sums involved, Matt, are quite frankly enormous. The scheme, the Daddy, has an entry level of €50,000 per person, Matt. 2 people have already lost their houses in the Glanmire area alone already, Matt. And I've heard of other people who will be foreclosed upon as well by AIB Cork.
This sounds utterly extraordinary, because we have heard of these pyramid schemes involving 8,000 and 10,000 euros and whatever, but I mean, who would be putting in €50,000 into schemes, and for what? What were they told they're going to get?
This will be revealed on my website tomorrow, and I'm sorry I can't say any more at this point in time, but as you know, the thing could get quite litigious at this stage. People want to know, what is the Daddy? The Daddy, supposedly, Matt, refers to a pyramid, an actual pyramid, Matt, that will be built on the grounds of Merchants Quay Shopping Centre, which will be torn down, the brochure says, in 6 months, sold to an American investor who apparently believes this pyramid is one of the original pyramids of Giza, which has been transplanted from Egypt to Merchants Quay Shopping Centre. Now, I know Americans are gullible, Matt, but a pyramid in Cork, come on.
I'm sort of just checking the calendar, because this sort of sounds like April 1st, but
Matt,
this is April 4th, isn't it?
This is absolutely mad. I even thought that it was a wind-up myself, but I've been actually tracking this for the last 2 weeks, and when I heard it, I nearly threw up my breakfast, to be quite honest with you. An Egyptian pyramid in Cork. I mean, they even have T-shirts printed, Matt, "Who's your daddy?" and a picture of a pyramid, and people in red and white jerseys climbing up the pyramid with hurleys.
At €50,000 a pop.
Well, Matt, they are saying, basically, this American investor is worth apparently €14 billion.
And are all these people then just literally reckoning, well, if he's worth that much, we can fucking just take his money and take him for a ride?
Well, I think that the man is a little senile at the moment, but apparently he's fascinated by Egyptian pyramids, and he collects them and he builds them in his garden. And he feels that he heard about the success of the Liberty scheme in Cork, and he felt that pyramids in Cork are the way to go.
And you're saying that there are elected officials, council members, members of the Chambers of Commerce, merchants, princes in Cork.
I mean, other luminaries in Cork as well. Members of the Cork hurling team, members of the Munster rugby team, Ronan O'Gara. I'm naming him on the website tomorrow as being one of the founding entry-level members of the pyramid scheme.
And are you absolutely convinced and sure that you got your facts right?
Ronan O'Gara is behind this pyramid scheme, Matt. Ronan O'Gara is the daddy.
The daddy.
And Anthony Foley is the nephew.
The nephew. From Limerick.
I know, but he's saying to the American he's from Cork, he needs the money. Anthony's got problems at the moment, as you know, as we talked about on the phone before.
It's extraordinary. And that's going up on your website tomorrow?
Thedaddy.com, Matt.
Not eddiehobbs.com?
No, thedaddy.com is the website that they've started. I told Mary on the phone when she put me on to look it up. Ronan O'Gara, Anthony Foley, Matt Cooper, all in the Daddy. A giant pyramid, Matt. I'm Eddie Hobbs. I'm Eddie Hobbs. I'm Eddie Hobbs. I'm Eddie Hobbs. And I'm Roy Keane at the end of the day.